When you're designing a game, you actually start backwards and work from there. So you start with the player goal. What are your players trying to achieve? How does it connect to the goal for the content or the skill that you're trying to teach to your audience? Do players work together towards this goal, or do they each have their own individual one? These are all things to think about when you're trying to establish a player goal. The next step is to determine what type of game that you want to make. We talk about 8 main types of games on GameStormEDU. So think about it. What is your player goal, and what game type would fit that goal? Are you trying to have players gather sets of cards? Are they trying to control parts of the board or get the most of a certain resource? Are they working together or in secret towards certain objectives? Whatever your player goal is, think about the game type that best fits that goal. The next step in the game design process is determining game mechanics. A game mechanic is anything related to your game type that helps influence the outcome of the game. So a mechanic could be something like what I do on my turn, or what I can do to other players to affect their chances of winning. It might be an element of luck in the game, like rolling a dice or spinning a spinner to determine an outcome. Some questions to think about when trying to create game mechanics are thinking about your topic. Are there characters or people or objects in your topic that would make sense to have certain powers in the game? What might be a source of currency in your game? Is it actual money? Is it resources? Do I need to get more and able to do things? Those are all questions you could think about when designing a game mechanic. Step 4 in the game design process is the fun part. We get to make a prototype of our game. Now remember, prototypes can be high-tech, low-tech, or no-tech. You could use just everyday items that you have laying around your house or your school or wherever you're making your game, or you could use some of the digital resources that we've provided on GameStormEDU.com. Whatever you decide to do, think critically about what you need. Does your game call for making dice? Do you need to make cards with instruction on them? Do you need to make a physical board? For your prototype, don't get too worried about making a nice, pretty version of your game. Instead, use something that you can move around, you can change really easily. Something like a dry erase board for designing your first physical space is a really great idea. Or design cards using pencils so you can change and edit them. Don't get too worried about having a perfect prototype. Instead, make a minimum viable product, a game that you can go out and try with others so that you can iterate on it later on. If you like step 4, you're going to love step 5, play testing your game. Get a bunch of your friends together and have them try out your game from start to finish. I recommend sitting back and actually watching and not participating. This way you can see what they liked, what they disliked, what they found confusing, and some areas that you can improve on in your next step of the process. Have fun! We finally reached step 6 of the game design process, revising your prototype. After what you witnessed in step 5 when people are playing your game, take their feedback and use it to improve what you've already created. If there's a part that was confusing or frustrating, what can you do to make that part a little bit more smooth? If there's a part that students really liked, how can you keep building on that to improve your product? Think about all that feedback you got and try to make your product even better. Keep in mind that games are always in this prototype phase. You can always improve them. Have fun creating and good luck.